Stephen has to leave at 4:30, so I'm trying to get him out of here.
We'll be
All
fine.
right. Are we ready, gang?
Yes.
Ready?
Great. Then let's begin. In 3, 2, 1.
Hello? Are you ready? Yes. Then we'll begin.
There's so much stuff to talk about this week, and I don't know if we're going to get it in on an hour, but we're going to try anyway. Welcome to Monday Morning Catholic, episode number 57.
Snow, 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 snow. It won't be long before we'll all be there with snow. Snow, snow. I want to wash my hands, my face, and hair with snow.
Ah, yes. If I'm playing that, we're expecting a potentially historic blizzard here in New England. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are listening to or watching Monday Morning Catholic, and I am your host, Joanne Mercier, and we are waiting for the snow, and none of us are too pleased about it. So, but we're all here today, so that's a very good thing. So, in lovely retro black and white, we have Steve Romano from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Parish in Bristol, Rhode Island. Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm feeling kind of gray today.
Feeling kind of today. Oh, ready. Okay. And in the middle square, we have Nancy Smith, St. Teresa, St. Christopher's in Tiverton, Rhode Island. Good morning, Nance. How you doing?
Good morning, Joanne. I'm doing well. Good morning, Steve and Linda. Good morning.
And the secret square next to her is Linda Reed, St. Thomas Parish in Providence, Rhode Island. Good morning, Linda. How you doing?
Good morning. I may be the secret square, but I haven't got a secret at all.
Well, that's good. The only thing, we're a little jumpy right now because we've had technical difficulties for the past half hour. So, before we even started this gig. So we apologize if we're a little off kilter at the moment. As you can see, Steve is in black and white. No idea why he is.
Yeah.
And I have this really nice blue shirt on, too.
Aw, that's so sad. And we couldn't find my microphone voice for about 20 minutes. We kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. So if this is the kind of podcast we're going to have today, God help us. And on top of that, we are expecting, and these are their words, a potentially historic blizzard.
Historic. Now, although, you have to be careful what you believe in, because I saw four maps. 4 maps from the National Weather Forecast.
Yes, they have different satellites.
Yes, and they have predicted for Providence anywhere from 12 inches to 37 inches.
Oh, baby!
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Anywhere
I guess it's too late to go out and get a snowblower now, huh?
Yeah.
If you could find one.
If you want to fight the crowds right now, right ahead, Steve, because it's going to be...
Fortunately, our next-door neighbor has a snowblower. God bless him.
And we have a snowblower here, and our other neighbor
okay.
have snowblowers.
We have snow shovels. One for everybody.
We have snow shovels, too.
Yeah, but you
Us
see,
too.
we haven't had any snow up here in New England literally since what? We haven't had really anything this year.
No.
I would say since last February.
Okay. We've had a couple of inches.
Couple of inches here and there, a sprinkle. We had a little bit of a mess on Saturday.
We had ice.
Yeah.
No, but it figures, the week I get this and I'm ready to go somewhere.
Little closer so we can see it clearly.
And I, you know,
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, this is the big surprise, or this is what
What's
I'm.
that, a jury duty summons?
No, it is not.
Woo!
I'm supposed to
Reverend
going
Christopher
to
Coyne.
Vermont
Wow.
for the installation of the Most Reverend Christopher James Coyne with all of his alphabet soup.
Well, if I were you, I'd leave now.
Yeah.
I think I haven't thought of that. Someone has to go to work in between. It's bad enough I'm taking a canon law class this semester, and that's tomorrow night, Tuesday, and
Oh, God.
actually that's not going to happen either. So, and we just started last week, so that's always wonderful.
Where's that at, Joanne?
That's at the Theological Institute. It's an offshoot of St. John's Seminary.
Nice.
Part of the Master of Arts in Ministry, but I'm just going because I need one course so that I can get certified in the diocese.
So you can become certified.
I'm already certifiable.
Certifiable, but yeah.
I'm already certifiable. I'm trying to take that course, so that's not going to happen. And then,
No.
see, Wednesday and Thursday are supposed to be good, and the installation's actually on Thursday. So I could, if I'm not snowed in, I can get out on Wednesday and go where I need to go. But now there's supposed to be some snow coming in on Friday
Oh.
again, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, are you serious? And that means driving. It's 4.5 hour drive from here.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here going, I must call the hotel and find out what's your cancellation policy because I think I'm going to need it.
Ah.
And if I go, it might be just a whirlwind 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'd like to make it up there
Yeah.
because
Well,
we also go ahead.
What time is the installation?
2 p.m.
Oh.
Well, then come back home that night before the Friday blows in.
That's what I was thinking too. Miss the reception, and this is the first time I've ever gotten a real invitation. Usually I work these things.
So,
This is like a real invitation with real tickets,
hey.
real reception, you know, and I'm thinking too of his family because they're all over New England.
Yeah.
And this snow event is supposed to be down here and not up there. They're
Yeah. Yeah.
40 inches up there, which is nothing for them.
Yeah.
You know, but 37
Well,
here for us is kind of a potential problem.
Yeah, well, it depends on which little box you want to believe. Yeah.
I don't want to believe any of those boxes. I just want it to all go away, but it's
Not me.
No.
Why? You want snow? You want snow?
No. I don't want snow. I absolutely don't want snow. But I,
No.
but to get this kind of snow growing up in Ohio, I tell you guys, and Stephen experienced it last year in Buffalo. Stuff like that was more commonplace than it is here. So,
Right.
you tend to say, okay,
So
not do anything until it's over. So,
are we wimps or?
no, you're just not used to it.
I remember, you know, I don't mind driving. I know driving up north is a lot different because they're very, very good with their roads all the time. They're really good. But down
and over here it's hit or miss over here.
here, it could be good. You know, 146 could be terrible getting on to Mass Pike, which could be
Which
good.
is great.
Yeah.
Getting on 91 to shoot up to 89 is like, it's straight highway.
Yeah.
Still, it's going to be an interesting situation. And I have permission to chronicle the whole thing.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that you can get to go.
Please do, because if that happens, well, I think whether or not that happens, there will be no show next week because of the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You know, unfortunately, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and everybody I know is going to want to be at a Super Bowl party, and when are we going to put this in? So if I chronicle the goings-on in the installation, then that will be our show.
There you go.
Because I'll just wait and put it out then. But if not, then we will be totally dark next week.
Well, okay.
You know, it's just Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
Last year was different because the Patriots weren't in it.
yes.
Here they are. So It's a whole nother thing. And we lost Nancy. This is going to be one of those. Oh, anything that I wish I had a train wreck. I don't have a train wreck sound yet because then I would definitely be using it.
Well, we'll see. Maybe she'll be back.
Yes, we do.
There she is.
There she is. She's back.
Okay.
What happened, Nance?
It's just crashing. I don't know why.
Yeah, see, that was mine last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's happening, and now look how blue look how gray he is.
Yeah.
I know. That'll be me next week.
So we have no feedback this week. Oh well, and that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. We don't mind. We have no feedback. So I think we all have, and I have to find out because I saw it on Facebook, Steve, that your boss pulled a Francis and threw out his notes.
I heard that. I read that. Yes.
So we're going to get a totally off-the-cuff homily from him, I take it?
Honestly, if it was off the cuff, he did it pretty well because I didn't notice that he was.
Oh wow.
Cool.
I mean, you know, he pretty much has collected thoughts to begin with. So.
Well, that's.
But yeah, it was very good. It was very good.
Oh, good. Well, then
Yeah.
why don't we just run right into that?
You hear what I hear.
Do you hear what I hear for the third Sunday in Ordinary Time? Of course, if you're new to this entire thing, please don't judge us by this show so far. But we come here every week to take a look back at the previous weekend's liturgies and try to make some sense of it all. And we add all kinds of other Catholic, we take out our little Catholic eyeglasses and look at all kinds of other things as well. So this is our premiere segment where we take a look at the readings. We go back and look at the readings and then listen to each other's homilies from our, respective pastors, especially the ones who aren't on vacation this week.
Yes.
But will be for the next couple of weeks,
Yes.
which our pastor told us this morning.
We'll
Going
get
on
some,
vacation.
we'll get some interesting ones next week. Or we won't have one next week.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
At least it'll be the week after. But for the third Sunday in Ordinary Time, let's look back at the readings. And our first reading was Jonah 3. Now, we very rarely hear anything out of Jonah, but everybody knows the story of Jonah in the whale. This is not it.
We didn't hear about the whale this week.
We also don't get to hear how Jonah doesn't particularly like to be a prophet.
No.
His other claim to fame. All we hear about is him being told to go to Nineveh and to tell them to repent, and they repented pretty fast.
Yes, they did.
But then you don't get to hear it wasn't like that either.
But Jonah was not crazy about that.
Right. If you want to hear the whole thing, read Jonah 3.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Read the whole
Go to
thing.
the book of Jonah. It's quite a story.
Yeah, read the whole thing because it's hysterical. Psalm 25, however, with the second refrain.
With an alternate refrain. Yep.
Usually it's remember your mercies, but this is teach me your ways, O Lord.
Well,
And
Psalm 25 has half a dozen
bunch of
refrains
O Lord, it's
that
got
come up during the years.
right.
This week it happened to be teach me your ways, O Lord.
Right. But that's usually the ones for Ordinary Time.
That's what we used.
2 different ones for Ordinary Time. There's one for Advent. I think there might be one for Lent, don't quote me. But it is, our favorite Psalm 25. Then 1 Corinthians 7, and I love this one. It's basically time's running out.
Yes.
You've got to, if you're doing this, then don't do this. And if you're living like this, then don't live like this.
Yes.
Like, okay.
I need a little exegesis, though, on the phrase, those of you who have wives, live as though you don't have wives.
See, now I like that part because,
Oh, Stephen.
What was the purpose of that? I mean, what do they want you to do
What
there?
did it serve? Yeah.
Have to go back and remember that Paul was not a big fan of marriage.
I know, nor women.
Okay? But he was not a fan of marriage as far as promoting the kingdom of,
Yeah, I know that, but still, it's an odd thing, especially at 8:30 Mass. We had 25 couples getting ready for marriage.
Ouch.
It's timing. Timing is everything.
Yes.
Gee.
I
And
mean,
then they said, those of you with wives, behave as though you don't have any.
sure, they're sitting there going,
And now for something completely different.
Yeah.
You know the reading you just heard, folks?
yeah, forget it. Paul was having a bad hair day,
Yeah, evidently.
evidently. But it's sort of like, I think what he's trying to say is whatever life you're living right now,
Yeah.
you need to not live that way because time is of the essence. The kingdom is at hand. And they really did believe that the first century.
Yes.
They really thought when Jesus said he was coming back, they thought within their lifetime.
Within their lifetime, yeah.
Not understanding God's timing.
Time, yeah.
So that's why he was saying that. I'm sure he wasn't promoting anything.
Who knows? When you just hear something like that, it's like, what?
What?
Yeah.
What was that about?
And that's why most people just kind of skip over that reading.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. I don't think, you'll explain if our pastor did or didn't, because I don't remember if he even touched on it.
No, he didn't.
I didn't think so.
He didn't.
And then we have Mark's account. Now, again, this is year B. We're going to be going between Mark and John, but it seems like we heard this last week
Yes.
in John. Now we get to hear it again in Mark.
From Mark, yes.
More calling of the disciples. This time it was the Zebedee's sons.
And it was this, and they called Peter twice. He got called last week, and he got called again this week. So.
Yeah, well, they really
He
wanted.
wasn't listening last week.
Yeah,
There you go.
they
There you
really wanted Peter.
Right.
So.
So these were the readings that we had set before us this week. Do you have two, Stephen? Or just one?
Yes.
You have two.
Two.
Okay. All right. So that'll be mine because I was with Linda.
Yeah.
So
We have one between us.
we have one between us. So let's let Linda go first, and then
Oh,
we'll
all right.
run down the panel that way. Go ahead.
Okay. So he started off with a quote from Abraham Lincoln, which said, "God must have loved ordinary people since he made so many of them." And everybody laughed.
Of course.
And he said, today we have the call of the apostles from the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus calls the four men who were fishermen, just ordinary men. He said they were not highly educated or schooled in rabbinic tradition, but Jesus didn't see them. Jesus saw something in them that nobody else saw. He saw what they could become. And then he went off onto a little tangent about how he has a lot of respect for artistically creative people. He said, "I'm always amazed at what artistic people can do because I can't even color between the lines." But
He was really into the jokes.
yes. So all he has to do is get a willing audience, and so anyway, he said, but he has special respect for sculptors who can look at a block of stone or a hunk of wood or a lump of clay and see a potential work of art. And he said that must be the way God looks at us, not as a lump of flesh, but as truly women and men who are capable of becoming something wonderful, and in particular, becoming fishers of women and men. He said that we believe that by virtue of our baptism, the Spirit comes to us, breathes in our hearts, imparts some divine power to convert our ordinary energy into courage and strength that can make great things happen. And then he went on to talk about the role models that we have in this, and encouraged us to either go online or find a copy of Butler's Lives of the Saints and read a few lives of the saints and see that oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, they were ordinary men and women who listened carefully to the call of God and did His will with a vengeance. He said these are the role models that we have, and that so often we think that because we're just ordinary people, there's nothing we can really do that would be terrific. And we don't allow that mercy and forgiveness is freely given from God, but it has an impact in our lives. And we don't really allow that spirit that God sends us to give us the courage and the strength to go forth and bring Christ to people, and therefore bring people to Christ. So he says, yes, we are ordinary people, but God is the ultimate artist who truly sees what we can and should be, and that may we all allow God's mercy and forgiveness to act in us to bring about wonderful things.
Yeah, I thought he was very interesting, where he was really trying to push home the you're not, you may be ordinary, but you can do extraordinary things in God.
Yeah. If you let God work in you.
Right, because I really don't think people believe that.
Yeah.
I don't think they believe it at all. And sometimes I don't believe it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean just because we do what we do doesn't mean we always say,
no.
oh, yeah.
No.
We got no problem with that.
Like,
but
here I am schlepping along, just me, capable of not much.
Right. Read the lives of the saints. They were either notorious, nefarious, or
yeah.
Some of them were bumps on logs too.
Yeah.
And then just did one miraculous thing, and that was enough.
Done.
One and done.
But I think his whole point is, to just open yourself to God's will.
Exactly.
And let God work His will in you.
Right. Exactly. But some people aren't open to that.
Which is what the apostles did.
Right. But then they kind of questioned everything along the way.
Well, yeah. They were kind of lumps, too, along the way, but...
Weren't they now?
Fortunately, Jesus kept chiseling away at them, so...
If they could be continually chiseled at, so can...
Yes.
Cool. All right. Thank you, dear. Nancy.
So that was mine, one.
Nancy, hi. Hi, guys.
Hey, Nancy.
Go.
Today I was home watching the TV Mass from Fall River, and I had the distinct pleasure of having the celebrant be an old friend, a man that I used to hear at St. John's when he would come and assist us, and that was Father Craig Pagano.
Yay.
And evidently he's at Our Lady of Health in New Bedford.
Yeah, he's Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Okay, then that's correct. There you go.
My
mistake. My mistake. And he oversees St. John and James School.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Catholic School Week this week, he had the lectors were students, and some of the people in the assembly were students and teachers. And so Father Craig started his homily talking about, he says, I know some of you who are of my age, he says, we remember the movies, Mission Impossible movies, that there was a whole series of them. And he says, if you're my age, he says, you remember that it started as a TV program. There you go. And I didn't even ask for that.
Hey, I've got him.
I know. And he says, if you're my age, you even know that there's a TV series that started that. So, and he says the funny thing is, he started it with the series started with a tape recorder that gave you that week's Mission Impossible. He said, my kids look at me and say, what's a tape recorder? He said, so I'm really kind of off the beaten track here. There you go. Exactly. See, I mean, she's cool as my moderator here. And
and that's what I do here.
Exactly. So he equated all of the Mission Impossibles that were given from Peter Graves to the team to the essentially mission impossibles that were given to Jonah and to the Simon and such. And he said the mission impossibles in the movies and TV always were possible. You just didn't think they were. And the same with the things that God asks of us, no matter what that mission might be, no matter what we heard him asking in the scripture today, they were all possible because they were missions given by God. And that was the whole thing.
Oh,
if you've been given a mission by God, it is always possible. And so he swung around that mentality. It was really very, very good to hear that. He kind of started to bring in the Catholic school just a little bit. You know, he didn't concentrate on that, but he did weave that in and talking about how we teach others through example, and somehow that's the missions that we get sometimes, that we need to teach in Catholic schools, and that this is the example that Pope Francis gives us every single day, is by living and teaching the example. And so a little bit of a promo to the people at home. There's some things I'd like you to do. If you would please pray for our students, for our schools as they teach these children, and there were a couple of other things I wasn't familiar with, and I didn't write them down, so I apologize. And then, but if you are of the mind to be able to help the St. Mary's Foundation, I think is what he said, to help further an education of a student. So it was, and that perhaps was somebody's mission impossible. But nonetheless, that was his spin in that mission impossible is never impossible if it's the Lord's mission.
Nice.
So
Well, it is Catholic Schools Week.
Oh, absolutely. That's what, and he said that, absolutely, and that's how he spun it in.
Oh, cool. I know the Mission Impossible. The only thing the kids would vaguely know would be Tom Cruise.
Absolutely, and that he started that. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Dropping things.
Vaguely.
And that's why he started, and then said Peter Graves, and
Oh,
those
yeah.
old of us old enough to know who Peter Graves was.
They're sitting there going,
Is
"Are you kidding me? Who's that?"
Yeah.
You know, which is really sad because we all
Yep.
know who it is.
absolutely. Stephen might. Do you know who Peter Graves is, Steve?
The name sounds familiar. That's
Yeah.
about it.
See, he's the
Airplane.
next generation, folks.
Oh, Airplane.
Airplane.
Okay, yes. All right, yes.
He was the captain in Airplane.
Oh, I
And we'll
love
keep
that
moving
movie.
on that note.
Yeah, we don't, we don't want to go down that road.
We're not
Yeah.
going down that road.
Nope. Steve, you're up, my dear.
Go ahead, Steve, you're next.
Well, as Joanne said, my pastor apparently had something else in mind, and then to preface what I'm going to say, I selected the Summons, John Bell, the Summons, to
Me too.
be our opening hymn, and so we sang that, and apparently, and it's one of his favorites, and apparently that was enough to kind of give him the gumption to go go in a different direction than I guess what he had written down for his homily. So, so his homily was this. He said, Andrew, Simon, James, and John, simple fishermen doing their jobs, no fame, no fortune, no power, no wealth. They're just doing their thing on the shore there. And he said, Jesus walks by and says, hello, how are you? Hey, what's going on? And he said, they didn't, he said, the question is, did they know who he was or not? Maybe they had heard of him, but it says today's gospel doesn't say, and it's true. That's a good point. It doesn't say that they,
Right.
they had heard about him or anything like that. It says the gospel today doesn't tell us that. But he's, they said it. Jesus says to them those famous words, "Come follow me," and he said, and so they get out of their boat, leave some of the other guys behind, and off they go. And he said, it's clear that Jesus didn't tell them much, and I'm expanding on this, but they didn't say, what's what's your education, or can I see your Facebook page, or stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he said they just went and followed him, and the manifestations and the requirements, that's the word I want, the requirements of discipleship kind of evolved as they went along. He said, we today sort of have an advantage that we have some knowledge about what discipleship requires. And he said, start right with the Mass. He said, Jesus, comes to us in the Eucharist and says, come follow me. And we are advantaged that we have some sense of, we know that it's a challenge, especially now, because we all know the world that we're in. He said, to be faithful disciples. And that was his homily. And then, of course, he's very good about, one of his tricks is he opens the homily with a phrase and he ends with it. So again, at the end, he said, Andrew, Simon, James, and John, simple fishermen, doing their jobs, and they went to follow Jesus. So that was his homily.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
And then, of course, we also sang the Seashore song. So I got 2 in this weekend.
We did that last weekend at my work parish. So,
but it's nice when the music can trigger that.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Nice.
The only thing is, I really wish sometimes we could do it in Spanish, because it was really written in Spanish.
Yeah.
And the words, the translations from book to book.
I actually prefer the translation from World Library, but we have OCP, so it's a little different. So.
Yes, it is. I know the OCP one, and I'm singing with a World Library crowd last week, and I'm going, that's not what we're singing.
And then we had Father Colello, and he actually did the Mass, which we had our Catholic school family at. Oh. So he started with this, with a joke, and or a story, I should say. He said, and I don't know if this was his experience or he had heard it or whatever, but he said he was, there was this girl in school, and she was drawing something. So they said, "Oh, what's that?" And she drew an airplane, and they said, "Oh." And there were 3 people in the back of the plane, and there was 1 person in the pilot's seat. So they said, "Well, what's that all about?" And she said, "Well, this is the flight into Egypt." And so they said,
Oh, shit.
So who's in the passenger cabin? So that's Jesus, Mary, and baby Jesus. And then there's Pontius the pilot in the front. So everyone cracked up and ha ha ha, and it was cute. It was cute. And then he said, same. Obviously it's discipleship, because that was like the hot button topic this weekend. Yeah. He said, Jesus speaks his first words to them. Repent, turn away from your bad ways, come follow me. And he also talked about the demands of discipleship, but more importantly, what is the quality of our discipleship? And if we are good disciples, great. We have to be better. And if we're not so good, well, we best change. And he said, and the only way we can do that is again finding strength from the Mass, from the Eucharist, and praying that God changes our hearts in such a way that we do become good, faithful, serious disciples. That was his homily.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
I like the quality of discipleship.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people call themselves disciples, but who are we to judge?
Right.
That's the problem.
We're not judging. We're just observing that there's all kinds of qualities of discipleship.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
but I did enjoy that joke. Pontius the pilot.
Pontius the pilot.
Yeah. Nah. Sorry, crickets. Crickets from me. Well, we didn't get any feedback this week, but we would love to have feedback, and we'd still love to have a few intrepid gentlemen come on and explain how they put their homilies together.
Mhm.
That's what I would like to have at some point, is to have one, two, or more of them come and explain why they, how much is inspiration, how much is the Holy Spirit, how much of it is just,
Perspiration.
perspiration. Exactly. How much have I done this before? And does it speak to a new audience? That type of thing. So, please, if you would like to join in on this conversation, you can send us your feedback at mondaymorningcatholic@gmail.com. You can put it up on the Facebook page, which has gotten a real lot of action this week, except for, here's what I find is interesting. We've had 3 different posts on liturgy, and we're going to talk about that in a moment, that have gone like reached 200 or more people. And our poor little podcast from last week only reached 18. What is wrong with that? That's just like, come on. So they're all talking about this stuff, but they're not. Talk to us.
Well, evidently more people participate on Facebook than listen to podcasts.
Apparently, but Tiffany took the plunge. She let us use her voicemail. We'd love to have you, send us some voice feedback as well. But if you want to do the Facebook thing, it's facebook.com/Monday Morning Catholic. We'd love to have you there. Or you can call the feedback line.
But here's my number, so call me maybe.
Call us at 774-955-0659. That's 774-955-0659. God bless you, Nancy. Or you
Sorry,
can always.
guys.
It's okay. You could always leave us a comment on the website. Okay, so that's our shameless feedback plug for the week. Let's get to what everybody's been talking about this week, then. They've all been talking liturgy. Yeah, between Pray Tell, I had a couple of good ones this week.
Yeah.
On top of the real good one that I saw, I guess this is in response to been talking about the past couple of weeks with the women in the church thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I won't even dignify it with the cardinal that's been talking about it.
Yeah.
But Rebecca Hamilton put up this, I guess, response to all this called "Is the liturgy really that bad?"
Yeah.
Wow, what an open line. Because my answer would be, I think it depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Because some people think it's the worst thing going, and other people think it's great, and other people think it could be better or different in a different way. So it's like, just like music, liturgy is subjective. Okay, but what I always try to call attention to is we do have a set of rubrics. Now, I'm not the hard and fast.
Really?
You all know I'm not the hard and fast. Oh, stop it, Nance. But I have a real healthy appreciation for the rubrics that we have. I didn't write them.
Yeah.
So.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
You helped with the editing, I think.
Yeah.
I would love to have edited it, let me tell you. But no one asked me. So, but the problem is that we do have a set of rubrics that by and large will fit almost any occasion. And it's either folks who are so wedded to them that they can't move out of them, or you've got folks who throw them away totally and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world lives in between.
That's the extremes of the situation.
Right, but the extremes get the most coverage.
Yes, exactly. Whereas the majority, we lost Nancy, the majority lie in the middle.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
The majority lie in the middle. There's the extremists on the conservative end, there's the extremists on the progressive end, neither of which I subscribe to.
Right.
But the vast majority of people live in the middle.
Right.
And I don't think the liturgy is that bad in the middle.
No, but they were all confused as to why they keep seeing
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
this stuff going on.
Yeah.
Okay? It makes me think I want to do another podcast, you know,
On.
basically explaining liturgy every week to people.
Yeah, really.
Does.
Why we do what we do.
And you know, and sometimes I read these blogs, and you know, we go back and forth and back and forth and forth and back, and then I think, you know, the people in the pews have no idea that we discuss this stuff.
No, they don't.
And
But
it's like,
then when they have
huh?
a question, but then when they have a question, they're like, I don't understand. Why is the church changing?
Yeah.
You know, because that's the
Yeah.
next thing.
Yeah.
Why is the church changing? Well, it's not changing. This is what we're supposed to. Well, Father never does that. You know, well, no, he doesn't. I don't know. We had that. We had why is the liturgy really that bad? Then we had the 40-minute eulogy.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I missed that. I'll have to go back.
That was, believe it or not, in the Boston Pilot.
Yeah.
About a family that, honest to God, had a 40-minute eulogy. And of course, one of our folks, Beth Ann, said, you know, she's only heard one that's like more like 5-10 minutes. And I would respond and say, well, I've heard a couple of 20, 30-minute gigs, but with more speakers.
Yeah.
Right. So
But
this
not-
is one person?
This was at Cuomo's funeral.
Mario Cuomo, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
right.
Which, of course, the rules get oftentimes bent so out of shape at
Right.
the public funerals.
And this is why I go back to Mayor Menino's
You'll
funeral.
hardly recognize them.
Mayor Menino's funeral was done so well.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
well done. Absolutely. Well done. Well done. Yeah.
and we want people to look at that as an example rather than,
Yeah, except that, you know, they look at them all.
I know.
And they look at them all. And, I mean, we might like a particular way one was done.
Mhm.
But people who watch them all, and they think they're all, you know, alike as far as they carry the same weight.
No, they don't. And then we had another liturgical hot potato on the length and duration of Mass.
Yeah.
The pray tell people. Somebody has a 35 minute.
And I also saw something about the Pope and the sign of peace or something
Yes.
like that too.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, that was my next one.
Peace.
The Pope and the
Yes.
sign of peace, where before the last prefect of the office of the Department for Worship left, he got them to sign off. And you love how this happens. And this one I have to call up because that I thought was hysterical. When I read it, I said, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
That before he left, he got this promulgated. Okay, that it should be made. If this is what the document says, it should be made clear once and for all that the rite of peace already has its own profound meaning of prayer and offering of peace in the context of the Eucharist. If it is foreseen that the exchange of peace will not take place properly due to specific circumstances, or if it is not considered pedagogically wise to carry out on certain occasions, it can be omitted and sometimes ought to be omitted.
Yeah.
And then do you see what the Pope did at the Mass of the
Pope-
Philippines?
Yep, when he's in the Philippines, he turned around, and this means you're not supposed to go off the altar either. Went off the altar, went and see the nuns who were in wheelchairs.
I loved it. I loved it.
Again, the spirit of the law and the
To me, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
apples and kumquats, actually.
You know, it's yeah.
The thing is, I keep going, and this is where I'll say you go back to liturgical law. What is in your missal? If your missal says, this is what you do, then go back to that. Some of these letters that come out, yes, are explanations, yes, are interpretations of certain countries that can do certain things. But go back to universal law. What does the universal law say? And the universal law nowhere says you omit the sign of peace.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Well, not to bring up old things, but
Oh yes, let's do that.
it's the experience. In my parish, he got up and announced a few weeks ago, oh, because of the flu season and all this baloney, we're going to omit the sign of peace.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm in the choir loft, and I'm facing the wrong way anyway. My view is the pipes of the.
Yeah.
I'm facing the other way, but he said to me, so what I want you to do is, I want you to go right into the Lamb of God.
Oh.
Okay. Well, it's my experience that no one sings the whole first way through.
That's right.
Because they're all exchanging
Because
the
they're-
sign of peace.
Yes.
Because even if you haven't said it, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, maybe you should just say, we'll exchange the sign of peace, but you don't shake each other's hand. Just offer a gesture of peace.
Right.
So that's
Because
what
that's what they're doing anyway.
Right.
But I'm not the boss, so that's the story.
our pastor
So-
got up a couple of weeks ago, and he said, we got a directive from the diocese about omitting the cup and omitting the sign of peace.
Yeah.
We're not going to do either. We're
Good.
going
God
to
bless them.
continue to offer the cup. We're going to continue to offer one another the sign of peace. But please use some common sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
If you're getting over a cold, don't touch everybody in the vicinity.
It turns into the whole first trope of the Lamb of God is a
Yeah.
solo,
Forget it.
and then
It is.
and then the people pick up on 2 and 3 because
That's what
at
happened.
that point they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. But again, that's just my
I
rant
don't
and rave
see
on
any
that one.
reason. I don't see any reason to alter the liturgy because there's flu going around. Use some common sense. I mean, when I had bronchitis all through Christmas, I never once received from the cup.
Yeah.
And I would just turn and bow to my group and say, "Peace be with you all."
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I didn't omit the sign of peace.
Right. Again, it's Rome is very reactionary. The church is reactionary. Okay, and it's gotten worse because none of this would have happened before.
No.
And since Vatican II, it just gave. It's like they opened the Pandora's box and everything flew out, and now you can't stuff it back in. You got to try to figure out how to work with it. So I just keep telling people, go back to your universal law. What does it say? This is what it says, so this is what we do.
Yeah.
But again, there's a canon law that says that every bishop is the chief liturgist.
Yeah.
You've got to understand, Roman law is not English law.
But my understanding of what our bishop sent out is not, and I could be wrong on this. He's always sent out asking the pastors to use their judgment,
Right.
and if
Yeah.
they're in a hotbed, if you will, then maybe it would be wise to, as you said, to eliminate the sign of peace for the time being and not offer the cup for the time being. If you're in a hotbed of illness,
Right.
not so much do this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of it, and people are saying, okay, the bishop said we have to stop.
Yeah.
No, he didn't
Yeah.
really say that.
Didn't
And
say-
I
He didn't really say
actually
that.
I actually saw the letter, and it's merely just a suggestion.
And
Yeah.
that's
So-
what he has sent out every single winter since
Every
he's been
single
there.
winter, yes.
It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
But again, that's how Americans interpret English law, meaning
Yeah.
it's on paper, it carries weight, it means something. Whereas Roman law is on paper, but it's always a little, if the
Well-
circumstance doesn't quite fit into this, it's always been a little flexible.
Yes. Romans regard law, as most Italians do, as suggestions.
Suggestions.
Yes.
If you feel like it.
Stop if you feel like it.
Yeah.
Feel like it. Fine.
Stop the car if you feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and most of them, if you've ever driven around Rome, most of them don't. So,
I've heard. So gang, what do we have to? Do you think I should do a separate podcast for liturgical issues, or
I think so.
you think so?
Because I have more stories. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You have more stories. All right.
well, it is a good thing, I think. We've tried on several occasions. Every year, I offer a class on the liturgy for the RCIA, and anybody in the parish is invited. So far, nobody has ever come.
That's really sad.
No.
So,
No.
nobody really cares.
No.
You know,
No.
they just, yeah, the RCIA people need to hear that because they're not Catholic yet.
Yes.
But we know what we're doing.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, I will put all of these lovely liturgical things that have gone on this week. They're up on the Facebook page, but I will put links to them in our show notes.
There you go.
Haven't found them, you can read them for yourself and all the lovely answers to them.
That's sometimes more interesting.
It's really sometimes interesting. And I will consider
Yeah.
doing something because we need to do. There's just been a lot of it, and that seems to be what's getting people's attention.
Yeah.
Far be it from me not to follow what the crowd is looking for, but then again, you got to tell us too. So feedback is important.
Yeah.
If you really want us to go in this direction, let us know so that we can do that. Because if not,
Yeah, because we already have a segment called The Right Stuff, so if you like that segment, we can expand it.
yes, we can. Or we can go on to our last segment of the day. What's the buzz? And I'm still going to save there's one thing on our notes that I'm going to save for the next time we're here. Because it's a Lenten project. So
Oh, okay.
the week before Lent starts would probably be a good time to tell people about it.
There we
Closer.
go.
But I will move into what is going to happen on Thursday. And, oh, man, I hope I'm not sitting home.
I hope you're not either.
Hope I'm not sitting home because I would really like to go to the. In fact, I have never been to the Wednesday night where he takes possession of the cathedral.
Ah.
And that's not. I don't know if that's going to be televised or not. He has said that there will be streaming. It will be streaming online, and they will be showing it on television. So if you're not in the Burlington, Vermont area,
Where would it be streaming online? On his?
probably at the Diocese of Burlington
Okay.
on their website, I would think. But Catholic Television, CatholicTV.com, it's all for you. They will.
Joanne. Oh,
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Who is he replacing?
He's
Bishop
Matano.
Matano. Salvador Matalo.
Oh
Matano.
wow, that's going to be a change for them, huh?
Sure is.
Yes, it is. Bishop Matano is now the Bishop of Rochester, New York.
Right.
From Providence.
Right. Another
Right.
one from Providence. So Bishop Chris is going. He's already there. He's been there for about a week and a half, and getting used to trying to unpack, getting to the lay of the land. And Catholic TV, EWTN, they will be showing it on cable as well as streaming it online, I'm sure.
Great.
Diocese is also going to be streaming it online. But the Wednesday night, see, they have two cathedrals. They have
I saw that.
Yeah, they have the Cathedral of Immaculate Conception, which is the cathedrals are quite close to each other. But the Immaculate Conception one almost looks like a barn. I read the history on it. It said that the original building was burnt by an arsonist. Yeah, that's always good.
Jeez.
But this one looks like a Vermont barn, actually.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see that.
What does it say? Why they have two?
I would think size. I have a feeling that the co-cathedral, St. Joseph's, is probably a lot bigger because that's where the actual
okay.
installation takes place.
Okay.
So,
Then-
and I believe it looks like it could be a French church, could have been a French Canadian. Just from what I could tell on the outside of the building.
Okay.
You know, it's probably huge on the inside. So I'm really looking forward to this if the
I
weather.
hope it works for you. I really do.
I do too, because it will give me next week's show, because I'll just put all,
There you go.
and, you know, chronicle everything, and, you know, from my perspective, and we'll
Yeah.
go from there.
Are
But
you
if-
going to be one of those with the iPhones up so you can
Yeah.
record everything?
I don't know yet. I know my iPhone will take a better picture than my handheld
Yeah.
camcorder anymore, but, you know, so we'll
Yeah.
see. With that, right now, I do know a couple of things on the liturgy. For Catholic Schools Week, he is using Catholic school servers in uniform. That much I know. So the kids who are serving him will be in their school uniforms.
Okay.
Oh, okay, for the installation.
The
Yeah.
installation, and also with the installation, until the papal bull is read, he's going to be standing with the priests of the Archdiocese of Indianapolis.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they will walk him to the cathedra, the chair. So I think that's very symbolic, and I wouldn't
That's very
expect
cool.
less from him because he's a liturgist.
yeah, nice.
You know, he's looking at the symbolic.
Yup.
So
And hopefully the music will be good.
Hopefully.
his homily will be. There'll be a little. You got to know some. He used to tell the worst jokes in the world when we did. I mean, these were bad jokes.
He's a funny guy, though.
He is a very funny guy.
His posts on Facebook crack me up.
Yeah.
And now he's doing this on the road
Yeah.
video cam.
That
So
was funny.
he's going to keep doing that.
I
That's
enjoyed that.
to keep doing. So I think they're in for a surprise. But I did put up something on our Facebook page because the Providence paper picked it up this past weekend. But I got to tell you, I really wish reporters, especially the ones who are covering religious events, and now it could be anything, Jewish, Muslim, whatever, they really need to do a little research.
Yeah.
When anybody refers to Boston as the Diocese of Boston, I know they're not Catholic
Yeah.
because it's an archdiocese.
Archdiocese. Yeah.
And then they refer to him as the Reverend Christopher Coyne and not the Most Reverend
Yeah,
Christopher
I saw that too.
because he's a bishop. So he gets the title of Most Reverend.
He's most reverend.
Right. And then the Rhode Island paper said he was going to be elevated, which is incorrect. He's already been made a bishop. He's
Right.
installed
He's
You know,
installed.
like a refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know. So, but again, it's these you may think I'm being nitpicky, but it gives people the wrong,
Yeah.
It's
give
just
them
a matter of being correct.
yeah, give them the right info, you know. But I'm really, let's cross our fingers.
I do. I really hope you get there, Joanne.
I want to. I want to. But I will leave us with one last thing, and this comes to us from someone I've met in the Catholic new media circles, Father Darrell Millett, who's known as Saska Priest, because he's from Saskatoon in Canada. Okay? And I had this up on our Facebook page, and I want to see if I can get us to screen. I'm going to try to screen share this again. I think you will find this as soon as I can find it. It's because I changed the. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we get this one more time. Y'all know what an auto tune is? Have you all seen
Yes.
auto tunes? Yeah, auto tunes are where you take all kinds of bits of dialogue and you sort of piece it together. So he actually did one with the Pope in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this up here so you
There
can.
it is.
Oh,
There it was.
where'd it go? Come back, little.
It's there. We lost Stephen.
Oh, we lost Stephen. Oh no. Yeah, I want to
Well,
get.
it's close to 4:30. He may need to.
Yeah, he may have taken off, but I'm trying to get this to run again. Hold on. I don't know why it won't run because it's been sitting here waiting for you to run. Hello. Now I can't find my pointer. I hate when that happens. There.
There it is.
Are you ready to say yes?
Oh, there he is.
Now, if you're not watching this, it's a mashup of all kinds of footage from the Philippines.
It's true for us to be here. We can almost feel the glory of Jesus in our midst. In the power of the Holy Spirit, He makes all things new, makes His glory shine in you. He calls you and me to rise. Are you ready to say yes?
I thought that was the cutest thing.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
If you want to see the whole thing, it is at Saska Priest, and I'll put SASKAPRIEST.com. And he does those, and he also has a podcast called The Sports Fathers.
Oh, gee.
Guess what they talk about?
Yeah.
They probably
Fatherhood.
talk about Deflategate too.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
don't
Yeah,
even say it. Keep moving.
Go there.
Keep moving.
Keep moving on that one. Forget it.
Yeah.
And did we lose Stephen for good?
I
He
think
came,
we did.
yeah,
Came
probably.
back and then we lost him.
Ah, jeez. All right. Well, this is going to be the end of our time together, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere. Again, if you want to send us some feedback, and we really encourage you, MondayMorningCatholic@gmail.com, Facebook.com/Monday Morning Catholic. You can call the voice feedback line at 774-955-0659, or you can leave a message in our comment box at MondayMorningCatholic.net. I'm going to leave us with a little bit of since really snowed in. So please, everybody in our area, please be careful. This, we may be kidding about it, but it's a potentially dangerous storm.
Yeah.
So please pray for us up here. Please pray that this will all work out for Bishop Chris, because he has many people going to Vermont.
Absolutely. A
May
lot
not
of things happening this week. We want everybody to be safe.
Yes, we just want everybody to be safe. So, for Steve Romano, who had to leave, Linda Reed, Nancy Smith, and myself, please take care of yourselves this week. Please pray for our friend Bishop Chris and for what's going on in this world, because it still needs a lot of prayers. And God willing, we'll see you after the Super Bowl live, but hopefully we'll have a wrap up next week of the the installation. Okay, so ciao for now. See you later, gang. Thank you.
Bye.
What is Christmas with no snow?
No white